Hello, hello. How is everyone doing today? What is up? We got some golf action going on. NES Masters Tournament, the NES Open Masters Tournament. I am sorry. Um, we got a big show here. This is the perfect golf season. As I look out my window in Connecticut and there is snow on my car, that's when I think, you know what, today can use some golf. But I have a special guest with me today. Laws Cards fans, you want to introduce yourself and say hello to the fans?
Thank you very much, Apollo Smug. Yes, I am LOZ Cards fan 23. And yes, what better way than to celebrate Masters weekend than to bring you nine of the best golfers in the business in the best of NES Open Masters tournament. So this is going to be a lot of fun. And how this is going to work is that we are going to be doing up to 4 rounds. In the first 2 rounds, we're going to be doing the US course, followed by the UK course. After that, we will cut the golfers who are in the bottom half, leaving the top five to participate in the weekend. Just like that you see in the Masters tournament, where the top 50 advance to the weekend. Here, the top five will advance to the final two courses, where we will do Japan and then the US course one more time. And whoever has the best score at the end of the 4 rounds will win the virtual best of NES green jacket, as it were, Apollo.
We were talking about this a bit yesterday. It's like, we need to get, we'll see. Like, this could be, maybe this becomes more than a one-time thing. Maybe we got to get some green jacket or green something action. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad. I think we were talking about this before, that like a lot of things we do here are very like beat the game as fast as possible. And while we might see some, you know, different strats that you would see in a speed run. This is like more of a high score sort of scenario. Well, I guess a low score sort of scenario. You want to actually play the game as intended. So, but I think our runners are about to be ready. Um, I think in chat they are good to go. Looks like we do have one person that might be trying to join. I don't know if they have a scorecard or not. Not right now. Oh yeah, so okay, we got one person. Let me make sure we're gonna let one more person jump in. So give us just a minute.
Oh, does that mean we have a 10th participant coming in?
I believe so.
Ooh, excellent.
Makes it nice and even. You know, we can make a good 5 people sad at the end of 2 rounds. But they got 2 rounds of free golf. You can't find that anywhere. Okay, you can't find that anywhere.
Absolutely not, Apollo. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. So, yes, the top five runners, and I think we will include ties if we do happen to have a tie at the end of the 2 rounds. So, if we have a tie for fifth place, all ties will get in through to the weekend. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to this to see what our 10 golfers are ready to bring to the table here in the NES Open Masters tournament here on Best of NES, our very first NES Open Masters tournament. Yeah, you're absolutely right. If this catches on, I definitely think this will be anything but a one off here. So I'm looking forward to this.
I mean, yeah, it is. People. This is a good game. I mean, this is just straight up. It's just a good game. So good courses, good game, great music, fun time.
Yeah, it's one of the best golf games that was made for the NES, if not the best golf game made for the NES.
We are just about set. I guess while we're given a minute, we can talk about, as you see on the screen here, we do have a leaderboard on the right side of the screen. Right now, there's a lot of blanks, but ideally, what'll happen as we go through, people, all the runners have their own scorecard, and as they fill out their scorecard with their strokes, we're gonna start seeing actual round totals and stuff. So we'll be able to see live as we go. Should be
Yeah, it'll be
should be
pretty.
good.
I agree. It'll be pretty cool to see the scores go through on your screen real time as the runners get their scores at the end of each hole. So you'll be able to hopefully keep track of the progress of all 10 of our golfers. It's funny, Darkwing Dunk putting up a good point there that if it was the US Open that you'd be starting from hole 10 in some of the rounds. It is true that in some tournaments you will see golfers start with the back 9 holes, then play the front 9 holes. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that way in NES Open tournament golf. You don't get the option to start with the back 9 holes. That would be interesting though.
It would be really interesting. You can't you can't choose a like specific. Can you choose specific holes in this, like a practice scenario, or is there like a practice mode in this, or no? I'm not actually sure. I didn't
Actually,
think
there
so.
is
There is.
actually there is a
Okay.
practice mode. You know, technically, if we wanted to do something like that, we could. But I don't think we're going to be doing that today. But yeah, you're
No, not
absolutely right.
today. Not
There,
today.
there is a training room, as you can see, Darkwing Duck showing us on the
Oh.
screen right now, where you could practice any hole in any order. So if we wanted to do, let's say there was a tie at the end of the tournament, we could do a 1-hole playoff. We could do a 2-hole aggregate or a 3-hole aggregate like they do in the Masters and all the other majors. So that's something we'll think about if it does boil down to that situation.
That is cool. What a good game this is that it has that.
And as you can see, another thing you can do is alter the wind. So you can practice the hole on any wind setting too.
Okay, we're set. We've made the declaration that we're gonna start in 2 minutes at 1:15 Eastern time, and then all of our golfers are gonna tee off at the same time, and we'll start seeing some golf here.
Fantastic. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing the birdies, eagles, albatrosses potentially, and of course, hole in ones.
Ooh.
That would be cool if we got to see some right here today on Best of NES.
Just kind of like chilling to this music here.
Yeah, it's a very, very relaxing music, but it is a little bit repetitive. So, but I am definitely looking forward to these runners, these golfers getting started here and teeing off. The first of 4 rounds, we are starting with the US course. The second round will be in the UK. Then the third round will be in Japan. And then we go back to the US course for the fourth and final round.
Okay, we have given the golfers the okay to tee off, and we're on our way.
Excellent. Time for these golfers to hit the links. And they are off right now. So, hole number 1 in the US course, 328 yards. Now, each of the runners will get different wind and different pin positions. So, that's something you're going to want to keep in mind as we play. Good tee shot there from Gruntiadis. Brysolf and DW are in the rough. That'll be an easy tap in birdie for Brysolf. Oh, look at DW slam dunk that for the eagle. What a great start for Darkwing Duck.
That's how you start a round of
Oh,
golf.
man, absolutely. Gruntiadis makes the birdie putt, putting them at 1 under par. Hole number 2, the shortest par 5 in the entire game, 481 yards. Firebreath trying to slice that back towards the green and does so using that slope to fill it close to the hole. Should have an easy opportunity for the birdie. And Firebreath makes it to go to 1 under par. Brysolf, what a great shot. Almost made the albatross. Easy eagle putt. 3 under par through 2. Darkwing's second shot. Be a tricky putt here. That's going to be a big slope going to the left here for eagle. All right, doesn't make the putt, but it's an easy birdie putt. That'll take DW to 3 under par, tied with Brysolf. Jackamus, who's not on the screen right now, is also at 3 under par right now. Packy currently sitting at 4 under par. Brysolf with a long birdie putt, uses the slope very well. Oh, look at that. Firebroth got a water skip and now has an opportunity for the eagle. What a break there for Firebroth. Let's see if he can capitalize. This will be going to the left and didn't hit it. Tough break, but still, it'll be an easy tap in for the birdie. That could have been a lot worse there for Firebroth. Grunianis makes birdie to go to 2 under par through 2 holes. Here's Brysolf's tee shot here on hole 4, the par 3, 154 yards. A little bit short, but he'll have an opportunity to make the birdie putt. No problem there for Brysolf. Goes to 5 under par. Darkwing's shot on the par 4. That could go in. It does go in. Darkwing Duck with a hole-in-one.
Let's go.
On the par 3, hole 4. What a shot.
Let's go.
Now,
A hole-in-one already.
Since he's doing tournament, he's actually making some money off of this as well. Let's see if he can get the $85,000 flag. Oh, he does. He gets the $85,000 flag. Wow, that is amazing. Boy, this tournament is off to a rip-roaring start, folks. Here's Gruniatis here on the 446-yard par 4. Makes the par putt, and will stay at 2 under par. Brysolf taps that putt in for the birdie. 6 under par now. Firebroth, oh, just over the cup there. Would have been a nice birdie chip, but should have an easy par putt. And Firebroth will remain at 2 under par. Darkwing Duck goes a little bit long on that par 4. Luckily, it didn't go into the water, so we'll have some work to save par here. Brysolf on the 6th hole, the 400-yard par 4. Nice chip there from Darkwing. Gets the birdie, is now at 7 under par. Nice birdie there from Gruntiadis as he now enters the 5th hole, the 392-yard par 4. Firebroth aiming to tee off as Brysolf makes another putt, taking him to 7 under par. Oh, man, Firebroth, it goes in the drink. Now, it got on, and then it went backwards, so luckily it gets that landing spot to try and chip it in and save par, but very unfortunate break there from Firebroth. And a nice chip there from Brysolf. Another birdie. That is a hole-in-one. That is actually a hole-in-one. Our second hole-in-one of the night puts him at 9 under par. Oh, what a fantastic hole-in-one there on the 7th hole from Brysolf. Incredible.
2 hole-in-ones already in our first of 4 rounds. In the front nine, like this is nuts already. They come out to play.
Fantastic.
Came out to play.
They certainly did indeed, Apollo. Darkwing Duck makes the putt for birdie, takes him to 9 under par through 7 holes, is now on the 560-yard par 5, the 8th hole. That is where Brysolf is right now. Brysolf has 262 yards left to go to the pin. Can easily get there in 2 with a good shot and the good wind. Darkwing Duck with another bonus. Got that long drive bonus. You don't have to play in tournament. You can do regular rounds as well, but doing tournaments is where you get the prize money. Nice putt there from Firebroth. Beautiful birdie takes him to 3 under par, but the eagle from Brysolf takes him at 11 under par through 8 holes. He and Darkwing are having some great rounds so far. This will be a delicate putt here for Gruntiadis on the 6th hole for birdie. Just taps it. Need to give it a little bit more room, though. We'll have that left for the par. A difficult putt for Darkwing for eagle here on this par 5. Oh, just did not give it enough power there. We'll have to settle for the birdie, but that does take him to 10 under par. Brysolf short on that second shot on the par 4, 410 yards. Firebroth a chance for birdie here. This will be breaking to the right. Didn't give it enough room, unfortunately. Should have an easy tap in for the par. Gruntiadis makes birdie. Takes him to 3 under par. Here's the second shot from Darkwing on the par 4, 410 yard. Using the spin to get him back closer to the hole, and that's an easy birdie right there. To the 10th hole, Brysolf, 217 yards. With the back pin position, has a chance to get this one close with a good shot. Nice tee shot from Gruntiadis on the par 5, 8th hole. Gonna lay up, though. Not gonna go for the green in 2. Might have had a chance to get there, but if you are short, it's going to the drink. Nice putt there from Firebroth. A birdie, taking him to 4 under par. Darkwing Duck, what an excellent shot right there. That'll be an easy par putt. All right, here comes the tee shot for Brysolf on the par 3, but it's short. We'll have to make that chip to try and get birdie. Oh, Firebroth hooks the tee shot on hole 8. It goes out of bounds. That's a 1-stroke penalty, and he's going to have to re-hit. Brysolf will save par, stays at 11 under. Gruntiadis, oh, gave it too much room. He's going to drop a shot here on this par 5. That drops him back to 2 under par as he goes to the 9th hole. Darkwing Duck saves par, stays at 11 under par. I will tell you that the back half of the U.S. course is much more difficult than the front half of the U.S. course as we now approach the infamous Troll Hole. This is the 12th hole, the longest hole of the game at 642 yards, and Apollo, he's got the absolute worst win for this hole. 9 in the face is not what you want if you're trying to reach this green in 2.
They are.
Have to lay up.
It's testing our golfer right here.
Boy, beautiful putt there for Firebroth. That was for bogey. That drops him to 3 under par. Gruntiadis makes the tap in, stays at 2 under par. That was a good tee shot there from DW. The wind did die down. Still not going to be enough to reach the green in 2. So he can either lay up or he can be aggressive and just hit the ball into the rough and get as close as you possibly can. And it does look like that Darkwing is going to lay up. Here's Brysolf's second shot on the par 4, 421 yard, 11th hole. A tester of a birdie putt here. And oh, Brysolf just missed. Didn't quite give it enough room. We'll have to settle for par. It's at 11 under par now. Now it's Brysolf's attempt to go for this troll hole here, and he's got good wind, so an eagle opportunity exists here for Brysolf. Fireball saves par on the 9th, as Gruntiadis is now going to tee off here on the 11th hole. And Darkwing will take the par on the 12th hole to the 420-yard 13th hole. Brysolf's second shot here. Just a little bit short. Gonna try to use the driver strats and chip it in for the eagle. Beautifully done. What a shot. That's a 2-shot swing right there, Apollo. Darkwing got a par on that hole, and Brysolf just got an eagle to go to 13 under par.
It's a huge, huge swing. It's going to be big. Big moving into the, the end of this round 1.
All right, Firebroth looking to save par here on the 10th and gets some lip action to stay at 3 under par. The chip from Darkwing is off the pin. So I'll have to settle for a par here. Brysolf's second shot on the 13th. It's nice and close here. That'll be a tap-in birdie right there. Brysolf will go to 14 under par. Gruntiadis, a great tee shot here on the 12th hole, the U.S. Probably will not be able to reach this green here in 2, but can get close with a good second shot. He's going to play it conservatively, though. Wants a good fairway shot for the 3rd. Firebroth. Oh, that is a nasty lie. He's in the bunker and he's up against the lip. He's going to have to be very careful that he doesn't short this and go right back in. You can fall into this trap rather easily. Well, that was almost a beautiful sand shot right there from Firebroth, just over the cup, but will save the par.
Yeah, very well done. Although it was a close miss, it was a great shot. Great shot.
It was a beautiful shot indeed. Speaking of beautiful shots, nice chip from Gruntiadis for the birdie. Takes him at 5 under par, currently in 5th place on the leaderboard. Darkwing saves the par right there on the 14th hole. Now onto the 428-yard par 4. Here's Brysolf's second shot on that par 4. Firebroth now on the 12th hole. That's a great shot right there, and it spins a little bit closer to the hole, and that'll be an easy tap-in birdie there for Brysolf. 16 under par. There's DW's second shot on the 15th. Gruntiadis trying to get as close while staying in the fairway, but puts a little bit too much heat and is now in deep rough. That'll be a tough second shot. And look at the backspin in there on Gruntiadis. That was right up to the hole, and that backspin just pushed it. Got a long putt. It's going to start going to the right, but then really go to the left. So a tricky putt here for birdie coming up for Gruntiadis. Not quite, but we'll be able to save the par. Birdie opportunity here for Firebroth on the 12th hole. It's going to go to the left in the end, but did he give it enough? He didn't give it enough. I see what he was trying to do there, but he will save par. Nice shot there from Darkwing Duck. That birdie will put him at 13 under par. To the 17th hole, Brysolf, the 435-yard par 4. Has 146 yards left to go here, and good wind. Nice tee shot there from Firebroth on the 13th hole. And Brysolf gets the birdie. Another birdie for Brysolf. He's at 18 under par. Having himself an excellent round as we get to the final hole, the 571-yard par 5.
Another long one. Another long one.
Yeah, this one you have to have a good sense of your distance, because if there's good wind, you can make this green in 2, but as you can see, there's a lot of water guarding the front of that green. So if you hit it short, the ball is going to get a bath, and you don't want that. That's a 1-stroke penalty. Gruntiadis makes a bogey, dropping him to 4 under par. We got quite a bit of a logjam at 4 under par right now, as DT from B-Town just got a birdie, putting him at 5 under par. Oh, and Brysolf finds water on the 18th. So that's a 1-stroke penalty. So this could give Darkwing an opportunity here. He's got 298 yards left. We hit into the water again. Oh, he's tin cupping it here. Oh, you hate to see it. So now Darkwing, I think, should probably lay up here from 298 yards with this wind. So this is for double bogey. Brysolf makes the putt, but is not going to be happy with the ending of that round. Still a 16 under round of 56. We'll put him in the clubhouse lead after one round for the time being, as Firebroth makes a birdie to put him at 5 under par. Gruntiatis now on the longest par 3 of the game, this 230-yard par 3, the 16th hole. Reminds me of hole number 6 of PGA West Stadium, where it's a really long par 3 that has water guarding both the front and the right side of the green, just like this hole. But I'll tell you what, that was a marvelous shot right there. Gruntiatis, an excellent chance for a birdie, and gets it. That was a well-played hole right there. Takes him to 6 under par, now in 5th place on the leaderboard. All right, DW makes the par here and finishes with a round of 58, 14 under par through the first hole. So currently tied for 2nd place with Packy 619.
I think actually, now that we've had Brissoff and Darkwing Duck finish, we might swap over to take a look at some of our other runners for some of the last few holes here.
I agree 100%. Yeah. So these two are finished with their round. So yeah, let's get some other golfers in here. So we've got Random 64 now on the troll hole, that 642-yard par 5. Packy, by the way, just finished their round. They're in the clubhouse at 14 under par. And by the way, that is an albatross that Packy made on the 2nd hole. You see that on the scorecard, folks. That A right there, that's an albatross on the 2nd hole that Packy made. Wow, very nice. Campunas makes the putt. Very nicely done. That birdie takes him to 1 over par. We see that Jackamus Wedge is in the clubhouse at 13 under par, a round of 59. Very nicely done there for Jack. Random gets a double bogey, dropping him to 1 over par on that troll hole. We go to the 13th hole now. All right, Capuna gets past the out of bounds, but is in the deep rough, so this will be a difficult 2nd shot here now. Random's now on the 13th hole. With this win, that's going to be a solid tee shot right there. Here's the 2nd shot from Campuna on the 14th hole. Stops very nicely. We'll have an opportunity for the birdie and makes the putt. Very nicely done. Taking Camp to even par. We go to the 15th hole, 428-yard par 4. Here's Random on the 2nd shot of this par 4. Gets onto the green safely. And beautiful putt right there for the birdie. That puts Random back to even par. Man, Campuna was almost out of bounds on that tee shot right there. Fortunate that it didn't trickle any more to the left. See if he gets a good fairway bounce on this iron. Not quite, a little bit short. So we'll have some work to do to save par here on the 15th hole. Ooh, off the pin. Just a little bit too much power there. But we'll have an opportunity to save the par right here. Oh, did he hit it? Oh, just caught the lip. We'll stay at even par. Now it's Camp's turn to go for the longest par 3 of the game. This 230-yard par 3 with the back pin position. Random has 198 yards left here on the 400-yard par 4, 14th hole. Just avoids the sand, but it's going to have some work left to save par. Sliced that one quite a bit, but oh, it didn't catch the right arrows. I was going to say, might have been able to use that slope to maybe filter it back to the hole, but just hooked it a little bit too much, but does save the par. Nice putt there. All right, so now Random is heading for the 428-yard par 4, 15th hole. Looks like a solid tee shot right there. All right, Camp is ready to go here on the tee shot of this very difficult par 3. But might be in between clubs here. Nope.
This is a bit of a spooky shot.
Yeah, if you hit it short, you are in the water, and that is going to make saving par practically impossible. So you want to make sure you hit this. Oh, he didn't hit it. Yeah, that's the problem if you go with slow club on this. If you don't have good enough wind, you better hit it full. If you don't hit it full, it's hitting the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to at least go with a medium club rather than a slow club or a fast club if you are one of those golfers who can do it. Look at this chip, though. This could go in. What a par save from Camp. What a beautiful chip to save that par.
Holy
Incredible.
cow. So good.
All right. Unfortunately, Random was not able to save their par here on the 15th, so is going to drop a shot back to 1 over par. So let's see what Camp can do here on this 17th hole. Random is now going to that same par 3. Has the close pin location. So it is very difficult to get close when you have the front pin position on the 16th hole. That's a great tee shot there from Camp. There's 118 yards left. See what Random decides to do. He's going for slow. Oh, that's underhit it. Yep, falls into the same problem that Camp had. Underhit it with the slow club. If you're going to hit it with the slow club, you better hit it full. If you don't hit it full, that's what's going to happen. Nice approach there from Camp. We'll have an opportunity for the birdie here. It's going to go to the right. Great putt. Takes him to 1 under par going into the 18th hole. So has an opportunity here to finish with an under par round. Random has this for bogey. Pushed it to the left, unfortunately, so it's going to be a double bogey. Oh, no.
Just around the cup.
Yep, just didn't account for that little tiny slope, and that's going to be a triple bogey, a disaster of a hole there. It's unfortunate. Meanwhile, Camp has a 302 yards left. Probably going to want to lay up here, especially when you're in the rough. It is a good lie in the rough, at least, but trying to get to that patch of fairway is going to be tough. So he's looking to try to get a line here without hitting the trees.
And I do want to call out real quick, too, AK Potatoes and DT. I was going to hopefully swap to them, but they're both also on the 18th hole.
All right, so tell you what, DT's having a solid round currently at 8 under par, so 1 shot ahead of Gruntiadis on that cut line. Of course, the cut will take place at the end of the second round, where we will go to the UK course. It is the easiest course of the game, so you have an opportunity to see a lot of high scoring. And by high scoring, I mean low scoring. Nice approach there from Camp. A chance to close the round with a birdie, and does so. So very nice ending to the round there. Camp finishes with a 2 under par round of 70. Tell you what, that was a good round except for that 8th. That 8th hole looks like gave Camp some problems there. That par 5. There is out of bounds, so I can understand why you can score a 10 on that hole. The tee shot is very difficult. One of the most difficult tee shots of the game. You've got a lot of out of bounds, and if you hook that tee shot, it's going out of bounds. So even though we didn't see that hole, that's kind of what hurt Camp there. But I mean, other than that, that was a pretty solid round. I mean, just the 1-2 putt. That's really, really good if you can avoid 2 putts. All right, Random is now on the 18th hole, the 571-yard par 5. Yeah, many of our competitors are getting ready to tee off on the UK course once everybody has finished the US course. All right, so Random will no doubt lay up here on the second shot of this par 5. It's now just a matter of what club do you use to get to that second patch of fairway. Because you can easily miss that shot and miss that fairway. And then you have a really difficult third shot where you might have to lay up again. So let's see what happens here. Well, Random is now in between clubs. It's never a good feeling when you're playing golf, whether it's real golf or golf in this game. Yeah, it looks like Random is going to club up to maybe the 3-wood. He's going for the 3-wood. Well, he hooked it, and it's in the bunker. It's a good lie, at least, but you really don't want to go for it now. You have to lay up again. Is he actually going to try for the driver? I mean, if you're going to try for the driver, you got to try for the 286-yard fast driver. You can't make that work with the small driver. Oh, it went out of bounds.
Ooh.
Oh, that's rough.
No, that's not the rough. That's the out of bounds.
Good one, Apollo. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That is out of bounds. It's just rough that it trickled to the out of bounds, because I see what Random was trying to do. It almost worked. It was trying to go around the water and find that little patch to, maybe save par there. All right. Got there this time, so Random will have an opportunity maybe to chip this in and mitigate the damages to a bogey. And unfortunately, kind of under-hit that, so this is going to be a difficult putt for a double bogey here. As you can see, this is a very difficult green. It's not the most difficult green in the game. We'll get to that when we get to a certain hole in the UK course, trust me. So Random finishes the round with a quadruple bogey, 9 over par through the first round. So some work to do for our runners, and we've now finished the first round. So we have Brysolf in the lead with 16 under par. Packy and Darkwing Duck tied for second at 14 under par. Jackamus Wedge, 4th place right now at 13 under par. And we've got a battle for that 5th and final spot. It is going to be very interesting to see how this goes here. And yep, there is your scorecard. This is the complete scorecard for all of the runners.
Yeah, it looks like we're looking through, see, a lot of consistency through for some of these players through the this round 1 here, and we see some big numbers. Few -2s. We got that -3 on hole 2 from Packy, and I don't know. It was a good. Our golfers came out. It was a good run.
It most certainly was indeed. So I think, what are we going to give the runners a little bit of a break, and then they're going to be starting the 18 holes of the UK course?
Yeah.
Or are these runners ready to go right now?
I think they're basically ready to go. We're going to. I'm going to have them get set for round 2.
All right, so we'll put some new golfers into the mix for our second round. We'll see how the others are doing, because I'll tell you what, we had Jacquemus Wedge shooting 13 under par, Packy with a 14 under par round there, and the only albatross of the field up to this point getting one on the second hole. It is the easiest hole to get an albatross in. Again, it's the shortest par 5 in the game, and if you have good wind and a good tee shot, you have a good chance of getting that double eagle on that hole. I've never made an albatross on US2 myself. I've made it on a couple of the UK courses, but from what I've seen, yes, the US hole 2 is your best bet of getting an albatross in this game.
Get some water.
We've got our 2 leaders here, DW and Brysolf, and we've also got DT from downtown and AK Potatoes on the top half. DK currently sitting in 5th place, so that is your projected cut right now, is that 8 under par, but of course that will fluctuate as the round progresses here in the UK course.
Just making some final adjustments here to make sure we are good to go. Given the golfers the go-ahead to start teeing off as well, so we're going to start to see our runners here get going.
All right, so time to hit the links once again. We are going to the UK course here in NES Open Tournament Golf, and DW is ready to tee off, is going to be the first of our golfers to get started here with this 418-yard par 4, but a lot of wind to the face right there, so it's going to make some of these shots difficult. The rest of these runners are going to be underway right now, too. So here we go. All of our golfers ready to roll. So Brysolf is going to take the first tee shot here on this par 4. Potatoes is going a little bit to the right to the trees here, so that second shot's going to be nasty here. DW just missing the bunker here. Here's the second shot now for Brysolf. Tricky putt here for the birdie, but Brysolf makes it and is off to a good start. Potatoes finds the bunker. It is a good lie, at least. And too much club there for DW. Is over the green. We'll have to chip it. Oh, what a shot from Potatoes from the bunker. Great birdie. How about that, folks? Oh, what a beautiful shot right there. Just absolutely decimated the cup right there. Brysolf makes the birdie here on the second hole, 393-yard par 4. DT's tee shot finds the fairway, 198 yards left to the hole. AK's tee shot. Oh, just could not get onto the fairway there. 160 yards left to go. Good second shot there. Chance for birdie for DT. It is uphill and makes the putt. Great start on the round for DT. And Bryceoff just over the cup. DW makes the par here.
Bounces
Birdie
right
chance.
over.
Yep. But nice birdie there for Bryceoff. 3 under par for this round. Right, there is your up-to-date scores right now. Bryceoff now at 19 under par for the tournament. AK looking to make this par putt here. Beautifully read. Saves the par. 1 under par for this round is AK. So off to a good start here. Bryceoff, a nasty birdie putt. Just blams it past, but it's a straight putt for the par, so no problem there. Look at this shot from DT. That was a great shot right there. Tap in birdie putt. Beautifully done. It's now at 2 under par through 2 holes. Bryceoff on the tee shot of the UK 5th hole, 431-yard par 4. This is reachable in 2, but I would probably lay up because you got to hit it full. You don't hit it full with that 286, it's going to find the water. So I would imagine that AK is going to lay up here. Yep, that's exactly what he does, but a little bit too much will find the rough. It's a good lie, at least. Bryceoff gets par, but DW gets birdie, 2 under par now on UK. DB's in the rough, is going to have to lay up here on the second shot of this par 5. Bryceoff with good win here on the 357-yard par 4, 6th hole. Trying to use the fairway to get in, but this is going to be a tricky little birdie putt. Just catches the lip. Good putt there from Bryceoff to get to 4 under par. AK makes a par putt there. Stays at 1 under par for the round. DW misses the green on the second shot to the left. We'll have to try to chip it. DT now has 166 yards left to go. The third shot now. Trying to get this close to set up for a birdie here. Distance looks pretty good. But unfortunately, too big of a bounce, so can't get the backspin to work and is over the green. Bryceoff with another birdie. 5 under par so far through 7 holes as we get to the 201-yard par 3 8th. Just missed there. DT will have some work left to do for par. It does make the putt. DW gets birdie. Is now at 3 under par for this round. After 6, Bryceoff with another birdie is at 6 under par. AK's tee shot goes left and finds the rough. It is definitely makeable from where he is if he uses the right club. So try the 3-wood. I might have went for driver just because of this wind. DT makes a nice recovery, has a chance to save par here, and does so. Remains at 2 under par for the round. Another birdie for Darkwing is now 4 under par. Here's a devilish putt here on the UK 9th. Very difficult green, but does make the putt for birdie and is 7 under par through 9 holes. But now we go to the 10th hole, and I was advertising this a little while ago. This has, in my opinion, the most difficult green in the entire game. And you'll see once Bryceoff gets to that green. We're going to zoom in on Bryceoff just so that I can prove a point, folks, of what I mean. Take a look at the slopes here. Those are nasty, deep slopes on both sides. You can see how difficult that green is, folks. But he makes the birdie, 8 under par now. And Bryce all having another solid round, is up to 24 under par. We've got Darkwing at 19 under, Jackamus is at 18, Packy's at 17, and we've got a tight battle for that fifth and final spot for the cut line between DT and Gruntiatis. We got DT at 10 under par, and we're going to take a look at Gruntiatis right now, who's on the 8th hole, the 201-yard par 3 8th. I've definitely made some aces on this hole before. Let's see what Gruntiatis can bring here. It's going to slice a little bit, but not bad. We'll have an opportunity for the birdie. This putt's going to be going right. Oh, just missed. He needed one more tick. He'll make the par, though, so he will remain at 9 under par through the 8th hole of the UK course. So yes, indeed, we've got a very tight competition here for that fifth and final spot to see who makes it to the weekend. Bryceoff just birdied, now up to 25 under par, 6 shots ahead of both Jack and Darkwing. So it's definitely playing very, very well. All right, we've got Random, Packy, Camp, and Jackamus now. We'll see how they are doing. Jackamus right now on the 424-yard par 4 11th. It's a tee shot you definitely do not want to hit short. All right. Safely on the fairway is Jack. Camp makes a par to remain even par on this round and 2 under overall for the tournament. Random going to try to save par here on the 6th. All right, Packy's second shot on the 11th hole. It was a little bit to the left, so this will be a tricky putt here for birdie, which will break to the right. Oh, it just catches the lip. Nice putt there for Packy. That takes him to 7 under par for the round and 21 under overall for the tournament. All right, Jack makes a birdie putt right there. That'll put him at 9 under for the round. Just 3 strokes back of Bryceoff.
And it also looks like that Grunt has passed DT, although I think is a couple holes ahead. So we might have to keep watching that 5th place race right there.
Oh, most definitely, indeed. It's going to get really exciting down to the wire between those two. So Bryceoff just made another birdie to go to 26 under par as we go to the 571-yard par 5 13th. This is one of the 2 holes that I have made albatross on stream. Let's see if these runners can get the double eagle today. There's a second shot from Jack. I'll have some work left to do, but it is an eagle putt. Beautifully done. Nice eagle there from Jack. Takes him to 24 under par. Camp makes the putt right there. That birdie putt, 2 under par on the round, 4 under overall for the tournament. Packy laying up there on the second shot, has 106 yards to go here for the 3rd shot on this par 5. UK 14, this is a hole full of decisions. You can either just lay up, or if there's good wind, you can try to cut around that out of bounds and make it close to the green and set yourself up for an easy birdie opportunity. But it always depends on what that wind is. Packy makes that putt for birdie, 9 under par for the round, 23 under overall for the tournament. All right, here's DT now. On the par 5 9th hole. Oh boy, that could have been disastrous there. Gonna have some work to do here, and is gonna look at the green to see what he needs to do. You can putt from here, but it's a pretty tough negotiation when you're putting from off the green like this. It can be done, but it's very tough. So you will generally see golfers chip. Let's take a look here. Beautifully done there. What a chip from DT. A birdie takes him to 12 under par, just 1 shot back of Gruntiatis for that cut spot.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
With this win, DT can drive the green here. He's got the win to do it. Let's see what happens. He gets a good bounce. It's on. Yeah. He's on the green in 1, so has an opportunity for the eagle. It's a difficult putt. It is uphill. Definitely have to give it some power. And yeah, you can see what that green does to this. So it's still not over. Let's see if he can salvage the birdie. He does. Great putt. Great birdie there from DT. All right, so we got a tie at the moment. They're both at 13 under par as DT's now on the 11th hole, 424-yard 11th UK hole. All right, back to the action here. We've got Packy trying to save this par here on the 15th and does so to stay at 24 under par. Random's chip is going to be short. That's kind of too bad because if Random would have found the green on that, it would have been an easy putt for birdie, but is going to have some work to do here on this chip. Great eagle there from Jackamus Wedge on the 16th hole. Takes him to 27 under par, is 4 shots back of Brysolf at the moment. We go to the 9th hole. A very difficult tee shot because, as you can see, there are a lot of potted bunkers on this fairway, so it's very hard to find fairway, and yep, Camp is going to find one of those potted bunkers. Jack makes the putt right there. Oh, Packy just missed. It's a birdie. 15 under par, now only 3 shots back of Brysolf. As we go to the 18th hole, the 460-yard par 4. Packy's now on the 196-yard 17th hole, par 3. Camp will try to reach this green in 3 and set themselves up for a birdie chance. Packy's tee shot a little bit short, but will have an opportunity to putt for birdie from just off the green and makes the putt. Packy now at 12 under par, 26 under overall for the tournament. We see that Gruntiadis is now 2 clear of the moment of DT. There's a big race going on to see who makes the cut. Gruntiadis at 16. Oh no, and DT just gave up a shot, it looks like, and Gruntiadis just gained another shot.
At the same time, I'm transitioning over. We had a birdie and a bogey at the same exact time from the two of them. Unfortunately for DT, great news for Grunt, though.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you, Grunt has had a great round. Is at 10 under par right now as we have him now on the 16th hole as Darkwing Duck just won another contest right there. So he's going to get some more money to deposit with DK at the bank. 20,000, pick the maximum flag right there. So great job there for DW. Just missed the hole in 1, gets an easy tap in for the birdie. 12 under par now for this round. 26 under overall. And DT now on the 13th hole needs to do something about this. Gruntiadis, gonna go for the green in 2 here. It's very difficult. You got to make sure you get it over that water, but he's going for it. He's gonna hook it. This might work. But I think he may have hooked it a little too much, but that distance was good. Just hooked it a little bit too much. Still, could at least get a birdie out of this and further pull away from DT. DT chipping here, needs this to save par, but it's going to be another bogey, unfortunately, for DT. Gruntiadis can't make the chip for the eagle, but should have an easy birdie on the 16th. See, yes, Brysolf finished the round with a 15 under par. Darkwing just finished with a 12 under par round of 60. Currently at 26 under par, tied for 3rd with Packy. DT trying to do the cut, and it's going to work out. He will find the rough, but still has a chance to get this close and make a birdie. But at this moment, he needs to see Gruntiadis make some mistakes. Let's see what DT can do here on the 2nd shot. Distance looks pretty good. Gonna get the close-up. That'll slow it down nicely, and we'll have a tap-in for birdie. right, now at 11 under par is Gruntiadis, 18 under overall for the tournament. All right, we go to the 15th hole, 410-yard par 4. And I will tell you something about this hole, Paul. There are some invisible trees in those patches of out of bounds. I've hit them before.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yes, there's a couple of areas in those out of bounds because this is a very intimidating tee shot. There are out of bounds patches littered throughout the middle of this fairway, as you can see right there.
Holy cow. That's scary stuff.
Yeah, so you want to try to just avoid them altogether or just hit it over them all, which, again, it depends on the wind that you get. So here's Gruniatis now, the second shot of this par 4 18th, and a little bit short. We'll need to try to go up and down to save par, or perhaps make this chip and get the birdie. Has a chance. Oh, makes the chip. A closing birdie for Gruniatis. Finishes with a 12 under par round of 60 and 19 under par overall into the clubhouse. So that is the mark. So DT is going to have to find some eagles here. Needs to make this par putt first. And does so. But with only 3 holes left to go, DT is going to have to find some eagles. And in fact, he might need to get an albatross here coming up on the 16th. 571 yards, not the greatest of wind, unfortunately. It is blowing 7 to the east. And there's a meme about 7 to the east in another golf game, Mario Golf for the Game Boy Color. Oh, he hooked this tee shot. Oh, that's unfortunate. He's going to have to lay up. There's no way you can make this. As you can see, UK definitely produced some really good scores. 5 players shot 60 or better. I mean, that's really, really good. All right, let's see if DT can get this on in 3. Maybe finish this round strong. Just catches the green. He's going to have a tricky putt here for birdie. Let's see if DT can make this. Oh, that's a little bit short, unfortunately. Had the line, but needed a little bit more power.
That ball's just rolling.
Oh, yeah, this ball loves to trickle on those downhill putts like that. It can roll for ages. It is really bad if you're a speedrunner if you see that. All right, so random now on the 15th hole. Let's take a look at the scorecards here. So as you can see, there was 1 eagle from Packy, which actually happened on a par 4. It was the 10th hole, which, again, you have the opportunity to make an eagle if you get favorable wind on that tee shot, or you can, of course, get a chip in as well. Jack's scorecard featured 3 eagles, all of them on par 5s, so very good. One of them was a chip in, so a nice solid round there from Jack. Camp has the opportunity for the birdie, makes the tap in, and goes to 1 under on the round. Camp is currently 3 under overall.
Going to hop over to DT on the 18th.
All right, so DT makes a par, 5 under par for the round. I mean, that's a solid round and all. I mean, had the lead over Gruntiadis by 1 stroke coming in, but just Gruntiadis played exceptionally well and just pulled away. So it is looking like we've got our field of 5 set for the weekend. But let's see if DT can finish strong here on this 460-yard par 4. .166 yards, going to go for the 3-iron. All right. We'll get a little bit of a bounce, but going to have a tricky putt here for the birdie. And it is uphill. Catches the lip. Nice finish there from DT. Finishes with a 6 under par round of 66, 14 under par overall for the tournament, but is going to just miss the cut line as Gruntiadis is in at 19 under par. Still have a couple of golfers left on the course. Let's take a look at how they are doing. We've got Camp. I don't know what happened there with Camp. Did he? Oh, he might have hit a tree. I think he might have. Yeah, he hit the tree on that 16th hole. That's what sent it back into the water. There is a hole on the Japan course where you really have to be careful with the tee shot. Yeah, I see what Camp is trying to do, but that tree's in the way. It gets around it this time. And is safely on to the fairway. So we'll see what Camp has in mind for the fourth shot. Random is now on their fourth shot as well, 30 yards away for the chip. Not a bad approach right there. We'll have the opportunity to save par here. Oh, Camp goes out of bounds. This 16th hole's been a nightmare. Random does save the par and remains at 5 over par on the round. Going into the par 3, 196 yard 17th hole. Oh, believe me, some of these golf courses are probably 196 years old. I mean, some of those courses that they use at the British Open are absolutely historic, and they've been around a long time. All right, Random a little bit short on the tee shot, but makes a nice chip right there for the birdie, 4 over par. So great shot right there from Random. Going into the final hole, the 460-yard par 4. Camp just gets it over the water. This will be the 8th shot, unfortunately, for Camp. Kind of a tough break because Camp was having a solid round up until then. Random is safely onto the fairway, but is going to have a lot of distance left to go to get to the hole here. Nice putt there from Camp. So that'll be a quadruple bogey, which takes him to 3 over par on the round. Random second shot will find the rough. So he's going to have to try to go up and down to save par here on this 18th hole. Camp's on the 17th hole. Finds the rough on the tee shot. Let's see if we can get some backspin on here a little bit, but this will be a delicate putt to save par, which will be breaking left. Oh, nice. Random makes the par putt, closes the round with 4 over par, a round of 76. So a nice solid finish there. I mean, had a rough go on the front 9, but was even par on the back 9. So nice consistent play right there from Random at the end. Camp is now on the tee shot. Oh, but it just trickles into the rough. And that is one thing you have to be careful of, is if you get favorable wind, if you hit it too hard, you can find that rough that Camp just found right there. So it'll be an interesting second shot. You definitely can reach it, no question about it, but you can easily lose distance if you just don't hit it right. And this is going to hook, but this should still be fine. Yep, that's a solid second shot right there for Camp. Will now have an opportunity to close the round with a birdie.
Ooh, close.
Just didn't quite hit it hard enough. That slope just took it away, but we'll make this par here. So Camp will finish this round with a 3 over par and 1 over par overall for the round. And I do believe that is everybody. Is that correct?
I believe everyone is done, as far as
All
I
right.
can tell.
Yeah, that's a good question. Can we get 5 golfers on the screen? I mean, can we? Is that possible?
I don't think we're ready for that, but what we'll probably do is similar to kind of like the back half of that. I'll try to hop around a little bit. So,
all right, that sounds good. So after 2 rounds, we've got our 5 golfers into the weekend here, and it is Brysolf who's in the lead at 31 under par, but is only 2 shots ahead of Jacquemus Wedge going into a very notorious golf course, the Japan golf course. Now, there is debate on which course is more difficult, the US course or the Japan course, because the US course, I mentioned this earlier. That back nine of that US course has some very devilish holes. You know, we talked about the troll hole, that 642-yard par 5. We've talked about the longest par 3 of the entire game, which I believe is the 16th hole. And then you've got Japan that just has a lot of obstacles. You've got water surrounding both the fairways and some of the greens. You've got out of bounds to deal with. There are a lot of nasty obstacles in that Japan course. So our third round is definitely going to test these runners to see who really has what it takes to win that green jacket.
Yeah, we'll probably as we kind of take a look at the scorecard here, I'll actually bring up the main leaderboard as we're setting up round 3 here in the J course.
Yep, there's your leaderboard. So we've got Bryce Off at 31 under par. Jacobus had the best round amongst all the golfers. Shot a 56 on that UK course, 16 under par for that round. Packy, DW, and Gruntiadis, they all had 12 under par. So Brysolf had a 2-shot lead going into the second round, still holds a 2-shot lead going into the third round. Yeah, DW mentioning in chat that Japan 9 is a difficult hole, and as someone who has played the game before, I can attest to that, because you've got bunkers, you've got out of bounds and water if you don't hit an accurate tee shot, and a very narrow fairway. Not to mention, it's an angled shot as well. So if you get very bad wind, it's very hard to find fairway on Japan 9. Very difficult tee shot. Maybe the most difficult tee shot in the entire game. And it also has an island green as well to boot, just to make it even more interesting. Yep, absolutely right. Yeah, Jack mentioning that Japan 2 is his least favorite hole, so we'll get to that very quickly. At least if you're going to have a hole that you don't like, get it over with right away. Yep, it is moving day. That's exactly right. That's what they call it in the golfing world. The Saturday is known as moving day, because Saturdays tend to be the day of the week where they set the pins up and whatnot so that you have the best opportunities to get low scores. And usually it's round 4 where it's exactly the opposite. They make it the most difficult it possibly can be.
Looks like we're having one of our golfers is having some technical difficulties in the clubhouse. You know, maybe his caddy had too many pimento cheese sandwiches or something. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, probably. I mean, maybe they're carrying too many clubs around as well, because I believe you have to carry 14 clubs and no more than that. I think that's the number. Yeah.
We did get added like a hole-in-one counter. Please let us know. These are the hole-in-ones that we saw on screen. I think Jackamus, did you get a hole-in-one at some point too, or I'm not sure. If there's any that we missed, please call out. We'd like to throw it on the screen for sure.
Yeah, I don't think I saw any hole-in-ones on the scorecards that I did see. Of course, Packy also had the Albatross in that first round as well, so I believe is the only one so far who has recorded the double eagle up to this point.
Okay, so maybe the 2 is correct here. So that's, I mean, you know, his 3s are still pretty good, but you know, nice to celebrate some hole-in-ones, which we got really early on. So like we said, they came out hot and ready to go.
Oh, they really did indeed. And we'll see if we can see any more aces or albatrosses as we go to the third round, the Japan course. So all the courses in this game are par 72s. And the Japan course is the shortest course by a little bit. I believe it's 7,037 yards. I was actually looking at the replay of my Japan 53 that I carded quite a few years ago. But don't let the number of yards fool you in determining if this is the easiest course or not. I personally think, in terms of speed running, it's the hardest course. And in terms of shooting the best, I think it's the hardest course as well. But again, that's my personal opinion. I think some runners and golfers out there might disagree and say the US course is the most difficult. But everyone can agree that the UK course is the easiest, both in shooting well and for speed running.
Okay, it looks like we have resolved our technical difficulties, so we should be going in about a minute.
All right, excellent. I'm excited to see how this final 2 rounds is going to shape up here in our very first Best of NES Open Masters tournament. It is going to be coming down to the wire here, and anything can still happen here. And I'll tell you, I know Gruntiadis is 12 shots off of the lead, but Gruntiadis really played well on that UK course. We'll see if he can keep that carrying forward going into Japan.
Okay, we have given the golfers the A-OK to start round 3, and we will be hitting the Japan course.
We are indeed, so we are hitting the links. DW is up first. 400-yard par 4 first hole. A good win for the tee shot. Ooh, gets the super shot, so this is really going to give himself a nice approach here on the second shot. Look at that tee shot, 330 yards from DW. Not messing around here. Starting the day 5 shots back of Brysolf. Everybody else is on their way now. Here's the second shot from DW. Gets nice and close. Little backspin. Should be an easy tap in for birdie. And there it is. Good start for DW. Here's Packy's second shot. See if we put backspin on it. Did. Oh, doesn't. There's the close. I was just about to say, where's the close-up? It does get the close-up right there. Should have an easy chance at the birdie putt and makes a nice birdie right there. Brysolf gets a birdie as well. And Jack, who was 2 shots back going in, starts with a par. So Brysolf now leads it by 3 shots going into that second hole. So, yeah, this is the hole right here. This is the hole where if you don't adjust that shot, you're going to hit a tree. So I can see why Jack would say that he does not like this hole. You have to move your cursor, because if you don't, you're going to hit that tree on that tee shot. Believe me, I have forgotten to do that before in the past. Brysolf having a little bit of trouble here. Going to have a chip here to try to keep the pace here. Oh! Gets a break on the pin. It goes right into the hole, and a nice birdie there from Brysolf. He is 2 under par on the round. Jack is half buried in the bunker. He's going to have a difficult third shot because you're right up against the lip. You got to put backspin on this thing. Ooh. Actually somehow got it on and can save the par, and does so. So Jack gets a par on Japan 2. Even par on the round. Packy is not able to make the chip here on Japan 2 and will settle for par. Second shot for Darkwing here on the 534-yard par 5. Has a chance at the eagle and makes the shot. Is now 4 under par on the round. Brysolf is not able to get an eagle here, so that is a shot that DW gains on Brysolf. Packy misses the fairway. So you could probably forget about reaching this green in 2. Probably wants to lay up here. Jack has an opportunity here to reach this green in 2. Darkwing for birdie, makes the putt. Jack hooks his second shot, and it does miss the bunker, so he'll have a much easier chip. Try and maybe get an eagle out of this. And does. Great chip there from Jack. He needed that birdie. That was actually a birdie, I beg your pardon. But that was a nice chip nonetheless there for Jack, so he's now 1 under par. We go to the 5th hole now, the 410-yard par 4. Brysolf and DW. DW, they're both on their second shot right now. Jack is on the tee here on the 202-yard par 3. That was a great approach there from Brysolf. Makes the birdie. Is now 5 under par for the round. Here's the tee shot for Jack. This is going to go to the left. It's uphill. Great putt there for Jack. Now at 2 under par on the round. Packy's tee shot here. Little bit short, but he'll have an opportunity for the birdie. Brysolf makes his putt. Packy's not quite. Good attempt there, but it will be a par. 6 under par now for Brysolf. DW with a long birdie opportunity here on the 6th hole. Oh, gave it too much room there. So I'll have to settle for a par. Jack, that tree might be in the way on this second shot here on the 410-yard par 4 5th. Yeah, that tree unfortunately is in the way. He's going to have to make some magic happen. Gonna have to go around the tree somehow. DW's tee shot here on the 535-yard par 5 7th finds the fairway. But Brysolf looking to make an eagle and gets another eagle. Is at 8 under par on the round, pulling away from our competitors here, Apollo.
You know, it's just another day on the course for Brysolf sometimes, you know?
Most certainly is indeed. Jack makes a birdie chip right there to go to 3 under par on the round. DW has played the Japan course well also, is currently sitting at 6 under par. Packy, great tee shot. We almost had our 3rd ace, but he'll get the birdie. DW makes an eagle, so is now equaled Brysolf at 8 under par on the round. Let's take a look at DW here as he is now on the 8th hole, 464-yard par 4, which has a spectacular dog leg to the left. Depending on the wind, you could try to cut, but not with this wind. You've got a headwind, so you got to play it safe. But it's going to be a long second shot. It just stays on the fairway. If that hits the rough, there would have been no way he would have reached this in 2. But it's still going to be a difficult second shot here for DW, as he's probably going to go for wood strats here and try to get this ball close and use backspin. Going for the 2 wood. Nice distance there. Did use nice. Backspin. He should make a birdie here. That was a great shot right there from DW. Jack makes another chip. This one for an eagle to put him at 6 under par on the round. So he's starting to find his groove. Let's go to Jack here, who is currently sitting at 35 under par on the tournament. He's now on the 8th hole, the same hole we just saw DW get a birdie on. And he too has not great wind either. So this is going to be tough. Right, he's going to hook this one a little bit, and very nicely done. That gets him a little bit closer to the hole. 182 yards left, and the wind did die down. So we'll see how he does with his second shot. Also going for a 2 wood on slow. Wind is taking it to the left a little bit and is going to be a little short. So going to have to try and get another chip in. You've seen him make a couple. And there's another one right there. Yet another chip shot in for Jacquemus Wedge, is now at 7 under par. 3 shots back of Brysolf. We now go to the most difficult tee shot in the game, in my opinion. the 418-yard par 4 ninth. You see all the hazards there. There's out of bounds to the right and water, bunkers to the left and more out of bounds. And Jack could be in trouble. He's out of bounds. Oh, man. Oh, you hate to see it, folks. He's going to have to re-hit, and that is going to cost him. Ryshoff just made another birdie to take him to 40 under par on the tournament. Better tee shot this time from Jack, but he is going to have to scramble just to salvage bogey. Gruniatis, meanwhile, is on the 8th hole, and will have an opportunity for a birdie. A difficult putt, though. Nicely done. Well read there from Gruniatis. Takes him to 6 under par on the round. He's playing well. DW is now on the 11th hole. Ryshoff is now on the par 5, 535 yards. We'll have a putt for eagle. Ooh, just gave it a little bit too much room there. To make this birdie, though. He's got it. DW's also got a birdie. He's at 10 under par. They're both at 10 under par for the round so far. Ryshoff now 5 shots into the lead. As Packy now entering the 350-yard par 4. Get this really close if you really wanted to be aggressive. Does look like that's exactly what Packy's doing here. It's a nice tee shot. Ryshoff is able to make that for birdie. 11 under par on the round. DW is now on his 3rd shot here on this par 5. We're on the 14th hole on Ryshoff's side, and as you can see, more hazards, more trees, more out of bounds, and look at that huge bunker surrounding the green. That is the biggest bunker of the game by far. I mean, it's literally a desert. 62 yards away on the 2nd shot, and makes another shot. That is for eagle right there to put him at 13 under par. Incredible stuff we're seeing from Ryshoff here in this Japan course. All right, nice tee shot there from Darkwing on the 13th hole, par 3. Easy birdie. Packy, nice approach shot there. If it stops, and I think he's got no slope. Yep, that's a straight putt there for Packy for birdie. Ryshoff is half buried into the bunker here on this par 4, 15th hole, so he's got some work to do. Got the sand wedge here, and ooh, that's over. So has a tricky putt for par here and is able to save the par. So we'll remain at 13 under par for the round. Darkwing 2nd shot. That should be a straight downhill putt for the birdie. And oh, almost an eagle shot there from Jack. We'll go for this birdie putt though. Make it. And is now at 9 under par for the round. Packy's 2nd shot on the 12th hole finds the rough. We'll try to go up and down and get a birdie, or maybe make this chip and get eagle. Ryshoff's tee shot on the 16th hole, 192-yard par 3. Another birdie. Jack, nice tee shot here on the par 3, 13th hole. An easy tap-in birdie for him as well. Packy makes a birdie putt to go to 6 under par on the round. And DW has another chance at birdie, makes his putt. Birdies all over the place, Apollo.
Just beautiful to see. Absolutely beautiful to see. It's what you want on a nice sunny day like this.
All right, here's Gruntiatis. Oh, doesn't get the close-up, but do we get backspin? Get a little bit of backspin, and so that's going to be another birdie for Gruntiatis. So Gruntiatis now moves up to 6 under par on the round and 25 under par overall. Go to the 12th hole, 535-yard par 5, easily reachable in 2, but it does have a very narrow fairway that kind of goes dogleg to the right and then kind of back to the left past that. So you don't have a very wide fairway to work with. And of course, you got to be careful that you don't slice the ball out of bounds. Unfortunately, he finds the rough. Still could get there in 2, though. But that tree might be in the way.
Yeah, it's like just taunting Grunt right now, being right in the way.
All right, let's see what he can do about this. Okay, so it does
we're
look
good.
like he has a shot. Yeah, it does look like he's got a shot.
Looked worse than what it was.
The wind's going to take it away, unfortunately. But it is a good lie in the bunker, so he's got a little bit of room to work with, but it's going to be tough because there's not much green to work with on this chip, and you don't want to hit it short where you just hit it up against the lip. I've done that many times. Slope will get it close to the hole like that. Opportunity for birdie now for Gruntiadis, and makes the putt. Very good. He's got 7 under par now, and 26 under par overall for the tournament. Another birdie there for DW as Brysolf has finished with a 17 under par round of 55. That's the best round he has had so far, our first 55. So that is really consistent. Brysolf has been averaging 56 on the first 3 rounds of this tournament.
Yeah, that is straight consistency across the board. That's amazing. 3 completely different courses, still shooting his heart out.
Another chip in there for Jack for the birdie, 12 under par on the round. I mean, the only blemish on his card right now is hole 9. He's now on the 17th hole, 432-yard par 4. This is another tricky shot because you can either go safe to the left or you could try to cut through the water and go to the right. But if you're short or if you go too far to the right, you're out of bounds. And he's going to go left, which will give him a more difficult second shot, but still shouldn't be too bad. He's got 206 yards left to go to the pin. Oh no, and DW is in the drink on 18, so he's got to make this to save par. He makes the par, 9 under par on the round going into the 17th hole. Let's see if DW can save this par. A little bit too strong there. So it's going to be a bogey, unfortunately, to close the round for Darkwing Duck. 13 under par, a round of 59, which is still pretty good. But when Brysolf is shooting 17 under par, it's just not good enough, unfortunately. So we'll see what happens as Jack is now on the final hole. And I'll tell you what, we'll go to Packy right now.
Here,
we'll talk about Jack
swap.
in a moment.
We can swap back.
Now, let's see the shot there. Look at this. Packy might have this if it trickles back in. Oh, he almost made the eagle right there. That would have been a sensational shot. Still, it's going to be a birdie here for Packy. Unfortunately, Jack's tee shot found the rough. He cannot possibly make this in 2. He finds, I thought he was going to find the fairway for a moment, but he finds the shallow rough instead. The tree is in the way. Oh, this is going to be a nasty 3rd shot for Jack. So let's take a look at the cards here. So we got a couple of eagles there on Darkwing, and we had a couple of eagles for Brysolf as well. No albatrosses or aces. I beg your pardon, 3 eagles there for Bry. Jack trying to go around the tree here on the 3rd shot here. Ooh, almost. It was a good approach. That'll be an easy tap-in birdie there for Jack. So he finishes this round at 14 under par. So he's at 43 under par, 5 shots behind Brysolf, going into the final round where we go back to the U.S. course. Here's Packy now on the 18th hole, looking to finish up this round. And should get a birdie to finish it up. There it is. Nice putt. So Packy finishes with a 61, 11 under par, and 37 under par after 3 rounds, I beg your pardon, going into the 4th round. Yeah, there was 1 hole on his card, and yeah, it was the hole that I kind of figured was going to be a problem for some of these golfers. It was that 9th hole. You saw he had a triple bogey on that round. Otherwise, it could have been an immaculate round there for Packy.
Looks like I think the rest of the 4 golfers are done, so we have Grunt left on hole 16 here, finishing it off.
Just missed the birdie putt there. It was a little bit underpowered there. Had the line. He'll take the par. He's at 6 under par on the round, 25 under par overall as we go to the 17th hole, 378 yards from the hole, 432 yards overall. Grunt is trying to cut Did he hook it too much? He did. Oh, man. That is the risk you take when you try to cut. Now, they did give him a favorable lie, at least, so he could go up and down and save his par. But, that is the risk you take if you go for that patch. If you make it, you have a much closer second shot. But, yeah, if you miss it, you're either into the drink or you're out of bounds. And I've hit both sides of it before, so I know the feeling. A little bit short. We'll need to chip this in to save par. Yeah, Jack had 7 chip-ins in that round. That is absolutely phenomenal when you have that many. It means your short game is really good.
Yeah,
you know, there's an old adage in golf lore. It's drive for show, putt for dough.
I like it. I like it. And it does ring true. It really does.
And you do have to be good at driving in this game, obviously, because there's a lot of hazards. Now, here we go with the longest hole of the Japan course, the 605-yard par 5. You got to be careful that you don't hit it short into the water. So, Grunias is just going to lay up here and go for reaching this green in 3. But you can reach this green in 2 if you have favorable wind. Well, this is not favorable wind, Apollo.
No, 7 miles an hour, going kind of almost right back at his face. Little to the right. Not what you want to see to end your game here.
Nice second shot, though, from the fairway. Grundiadis will at least give himself a nice approach chance to maybe make a birdie. He's got 130 yards to go. Will he use the 8-iron? He's going to go for the 8-iron here. I might have used the 7-iron. We'll see how this works. It looks like he picked the club. Oh, that's actually too much. That wind just took it away. It's gone. He'll have to chip it. I thought he was going to be short there, but
yeah, it just kept
Gruniadis.
It just kept blowing on that.
Yeah, that's the thing with those diagonal shots is that the wind sometimes does what you don't expect the ball to do. And ooh, he almost made that chip for the bird. He'll take the par though and finish with a 5 under par round of 67 and 24 under par overall. So there you have it. That's your standings after 3 rounds here of our first Best of NES Open Masters Tournament. Brysolf in the lead at 48 under par. Jack 5 shots back at 43 under par. Darkwing currently 9 shots back at 39 under. Packy at 37 and Gruntiadis at 24. So we go to the final round, back to the U.S. course. The front 9 is where these runners are going to want to try and get off to a hot start, because when we get to the back 9, anything is possible. A lot of difficult holes to close that course, and I think it's really close at the end. You never know.
We'll take a look quick at what round 3 it looked like across the board for these runners or golfers. Again, still, like, you know, some people, like you said, some people consider the J course to be pretty tough, but still just a lot of under pars across the board here. Some great scores.
Yeah, fantastic scores. As you can see, everybody was under par, and 3 of the runners were sub 60. So anytime you're breaking 60 in this game, you're playing very, very well. And I'll tell you what, I've seen speedrunners play this game, and when you get those very fast times, these runners can get to rounds into the 40s. No joke.
That's a good score.
I think Brysolf was mentioning that once when he was speedrunning this game, he actually shot a 45, which is unfathomable. That's 27 under par. Or 47. He's talking about the Japan score. His best Japan score is 25 under par. That's a 47. Yeah, U.S. course. That's the one I'm thinking of, Apollo. He had a 27 under par round on the U.S. course. That's a 45. That's like literally godlike. I mean, you know they call these things Nintendo numbers, Apollo, and usually you hear this terminology in baseball games.
Yeah.
Well, it can apply in golf games too.
I guess so. You're right. Yeah. When you think about, like, you can do some crazy things in some of the sports games, and like baseball is a really good point. That's a good one. Like, you know, you get when you play like a baseball season in one of these games, like you can just go nuts with things that wouldn't be realistic. But like looking at some of these scores, like I don't know, this is these gamers are they're just gamers, dude. They're too good. They're too good.
Well, absolutely. I mean, these are all professional players who've had lots and lots of experience of this game under their belt. You know, Brysolf is the speed running champion of this game, and there's a lot of great runners of this game who are not speed runners of this game that can shoot really, really low scores without having to do speed run techniques. And you know, we're seeing it on display right here today. But this final round, it's going to come down to who can get off to that hot start and who can survive the very treacherous back 9 holes.
We're just getting ready to make sure our golfers are ready. We're getting the final ready ups, and then it will be the Sunday, the final round of the first annual question mark NES Best of NES Open Masters Tournament. Been a good one so far. I think it's gonna end just as good as it started.
Most definitely, indeed. I can't wait to see how these runners do here in the final round. We go back to the U.S. course. You saw what these runners did in the U.S. course in their first round. Brysolf had a 16 under par round of 56. DW's best course and Packy's best course was the U.S. course, so we'll see if it tilts in their favor when we get to the final 18 holes of this tournament. I can't wait to see how this is going to play out. It looks like all of our golfers are just about set to go.
I think we're going to be about a minute, and then I'll give them a quick countdown.
Tell you what, one thing I haven't mentioned yet is a US 1. It is actually possible to ace that hole if you have 7 to the north and you get a super shot. I've never done it myself, but I've seen it. You get the right wind, which again, just got to be lucky, and then get a super shot, hole in 1. You can ace that hole.
Easy.
Get a 3 under.
It's free.
Yeah.
It's free.
Yep. Ace in a par 4. Now, I don't know if there's any other holes where you can get a hole in 1 on a par 4, but that is definitely one of them. Oh, I forgot about low trajectory. I forgot about low trajectory being a thing. That's Brysolf correcting me there. So it has been a while since I've seen the magic, but yep, it is possible with low trajectory. Well, there's 7, but it's 7 to the east, unfortunately. That's not 7 to the north.
Okay, and our golfers are ready for the final rounds, and they are teeing off as we speak.
All right, so here we go. The final round of the NES Open Masters Tournament on Best of NES is underway. Let's see what our runners can do. Look at that. Brysolf has 7 to the north. He has 7 to the north. And that was a super shot, and he got the ace. I just alluded to it. He got the hole in 1.
Holy cow. It was meant to be.
It was meant to be. He did it. He actually did it. He got the right wind, and he got the super shot. Unbelievable. A hole in 1 on a par 4.
Oh, when if you're the other golfers and you hear that clapping in the background, you're like, oh no, what just happened? What
exactly
just happened?
Wow, what a start. You could not have asked for a better start than that. Unbelievable. All right, we go to the second hole, the shortest par 5 in the game. I'll tell you what, with this win, we could see Darkwing Duck do something here. Brysolf's he skipped the water, but it still went into the water, so he's gonna give up potentially a shot here, or at least only get a par here on this par 5. So yeah, no, does not get the birdie. He does not get the birdie. So Brysolf gets a par. So that albatross start, that hole in 1 on a par 4, kind of not able to take advantage of it, Apollo.
I mean, I wonder if it just probably felt so good, and that's got to be good. If you're one of the other golfers again, like the fact that it kind of evened out in the end, That works out for them.
Oh,
So
too much club for Darkwing there. Wanted to get that backspin to get it closer to the hole, but he's going to have a tricky putt here for Eagle. No, doesn't get it, unfortunately. So he'll have to settle for a birdie here, but that does put him at, I believe, 2 under par on the round. So Jack is also at 2 under par on the round. So all of our runners, all of our golfers are currently under par here. So we go to the 446-yard par 4 third hole. And Darkwing, it looks like he's going to go for the fairway. You might see some runners cut into the rough and just leave themselves like, about 100 yards away or less for the second shot. But Darkwing wants a fairway shot here, and that's safely on. 146 yards left to go, but that wind is right in his face, so he's going to have to club up here. Well, the only randomizer I know, T. Murdoch, is the wind randomizer that Turbulent Eddie did many years ago, where the wind is constantly changing while you're shooting, and it makes for very wacky shots.
oh, that's nuts.
Oh, absolutely it is. All right, here's the second shot from DW. All right, looks like he hit it the way he wanted to. He's going to try to get the backspin to work for him. All right, let's take a look. Oh, it just did not do anything. It just stuck right there on the hill. So, yeah, tricky putt there for birdie, and it goes by to the right. So he'll have to settle for par again. Jack currently at 3 under par. Make that 4 under par as he just shot a birdie to go to 47 under. Brysolf here now on the par 4 has 30 yards to go for the chip and makes the chip. Sends him to 4 under par on the round, putting him at 52 under par overall for the tournament. So right now he is 5 clear of Jackamus going into the 6th hole. Now this hole has a little bit of a tricky wrinkle to it. You see that little creek right there? I found that creek before. I mean, if you have the wrong wind and you try to go for it and you hit it short, yeah, into the drink it goes. But Brysolf playing it a little bit safe here. He's got 198 yards. All right, and that is a solid tee shot right there. The putt's going to be a little bit tricky as it will be downhill and going to the right. But he read that beautifully. A nice birdie putt. 5 under par on the round. Jack also making a birdie as we're going to go to Jack right now. He's got a 4-wood in his hand on the tee shot, and I can see why he went for the 4-wood, but he still found deep rough. This is going to be a difficult second shot. 178 yards left, and deep rough can really eat into the distance here. Doesn't look like it did, but unfortunately he hooked it just enough that he missed the green, so he's going to have to find a way to chip this in and keep pace with Brysolf. 22 yards from the cup, and can't get it, but he should be able to get the par here. So he and Brysolf are 5 under par through 6. All right, we go to the 5th hole on Darkwing, 392-yard par 4. Gruntiatis in the bunker here, trying to save it. That's a nice chip there. He'll be able to save par. Nice second shot there from DW. The putt will be going to the right. Nicely judged. He's got the birdie and is 4 under par through 5. We go to the 6th. Brysolf now on the 8th, 560 yards. His second shot finds the green and will have an opportunity to make an eagle. It'll be a tricky putt, though. And he's got it. Very nicely judged. An eagle puts him at 7 under par for the round and 55 under for the tournament. Jack currently sitting 6 back. Here's his tee shot on the 8th hole that Bride just completed. Safely onto the fairway. He'll have a long ways to go to make this green. It is the back pin position. He can make this green in 2. Nice chip there from Darkwing Duck. That'll be an easy birdie. All right, Darkwing a little to the... Oh, it finds the lip of the bunker. It's a good lie, but he's going to have to make sure he hits this hard enough to get it over. He's got 34 yards left to go.
Not bad.
All right.
Just a tiny bit too hard, but really close for him, so could have been a lot
pretty
worse.
good. Pretty good chip there. He'll take the birdie, so he's at 7 under par, 50 under par overall for the tournament. Brysolf currently at 8 under par. He's on the par 3, 217-yard 10th hole. And just catches the lip for the birdie. Aki's tee shot on the 9th hole finds deep rough. As Darkwing Duck saves par. He's at 5 under par through 7. Now on to the 560-yard par 5-8. Look at the wind that Brysolf has here. He could go for this green. Or at least get close. No, he's not going for the green. I think you would probably hit the trees if you tried that. So, yep, this will be a nice, good, safe shot. Jack makes the shot for a birdie. He's at 8 under par on the round. Great chip. Nice putt there for Packy. 6 under par now on the round. Darkwing Duck second shot. Tries to get it on the green a little bit too far to the right. He's got 10 yards left to the cup. And it goes back towards the hole for the eagle. 7 under par now on the round. 46 under par overall. Jack makes a birdie as we go to the troll hole on Brysolf's side. 642 yards. He does not have the wind to make it in 2. So, if Jack gets good wind, he may have an opportunity here. So we'll see what happens when we get to Jack. But Brysolf right now will lay up on the second shot, find fairway. And has 154 yards left to go on this par 5. Nice approach right there. And, yep, that'll be a straight-in putt for the birdie. And that'll give him 11 under par for the round. So nice shot there from Brysolf.
Yeah, considering the hole itself and the win that he got, that's one you'd walk away happy with.
Absolutely. You will definitely take a birdie there. As we go to the 13th hole, the par 4, which is one of the easiest fairways in the game, as you can see. And he's got good wind as well, so he has the opportunity to get this close. Oh, Jack just made a bogey, unfortunately, dropping to 8 under par for the round on that 11th hole. Now he's on the troll hole. He's got a little bit better wind, but it's still not great wind. We'll see what happens here as he goes to his tee shot. Gets the super. The wind will be a little bit more favorable on the second shot, as it'll be a little bit more of a tailwind, but it still might be a long shot. Yeah, that's still too far, even with this wind. I mean, he can get kind of close, but there's no way you can reach the green. He gets another super, though. Yeah, but as you can see, there's just not enough good wind to get there, but he will only be 46 yards away, so, he could chip this in. Not quite, but he's in the same situation that Bry was in.
Yep.
Just an easy putt. And he's got a birdie, so he's 9 under par on the round. Back to the action. We've got Darkwing here on the 11th hole. Gruntiatus right now is also on the 11th hole with no wind. You always like to see no wind. Birdie putt for DW goes by to the left, so doesn't get the birdie here. He'll have to settle for par. And Gruntiatus, he has a chance to do something with no wind here. All right, hit it well. And I believe he put backspin on this, so this could get very close. Yeah, that was a great shot from Gruntiatus. An easy tap-in birdie. Well played. Brysolf goes way past the cup here on hole 15, and he's going to have some work left to do for this birdie. Nope, does not get the birdie, so he'll get the par here on this 15th hole and remain at 61 under par, 13 under par for the round. All right, 14th hole is where Jackamus is. 16th hole, the longest par 3 of the game, is where Brysolf is right now. DW trying to reach this green in 2. He might have a shot. Oh, just missed. Brysolf is off the green on the 16th, so he'll have to chip. Packy, meanwhile, makes a birdie putt, goes to 8 under par on the round. So solid performance so far for Packy. Jack into the sand here on hole 14, and he's up against the lip. This is going to be a difficult third shot. Brysolf gets the birdie, as does Darkwing. And yeah, Jack did it. He hit the lip because he didn't hit it hard enough. He's in a situation where he's going to have to just back out.
That's so
that is
unfortunate.
brutal.
That is brutal.
Yep. It is very brutal. So that is probably going to cost Jack any chance of a comeback here, because now he's playing 5 on this shot right here. Oh, he almost hit the bunker again there, Apollo. Oh, he's fortunate he didn't.
Like right at the lip again too. That was scary. That was scary.
Yeah, he just got it. Makes the chip to salvage that, but brutal finish right there. We now go to Brysolf, who is looking poised to win that green jacket. He is 15 under par on this round and gets a super shot of the tee shot on the par 5, 18th. Now, he has an opportunity to reach this green in 2. He's got 270 yards left. Yeah, he can get there. All right. He's going to slice it using the wind to help negate that. And he is safely on the green. An opportunity to finish this with an eagle. Can't quite do that, but the consistency is there, because with this birdie, he's going to be 16 under par, 64 under par for the entire tournament. That is consistency right there, Apollo.
Yeah,
absolutely phenomenal.
You called out before he went the minus 16 average, and look at round 4.
Yep, and you see that on the top, that albatross, that's what it is considered, a 3 under par on the hole. So that is a hole-in-one albatross that we saw Brysolf get on the very first hole. He got the perfect win, got the super shot, and just put together a really, really good round right there. Yep, very consistent. So he is going to be your winner of our first annual Best of NES Open Masters tournament. Just absolutely well played all the way through. Oh, Jack, just short on the tee shot on this 230-yard par 3. He was right at the pin as well.
Actually, potentially giving Darkwing Duck a chance to. He was a few strokes back, but Darkwing Duck is making his way back close to that second place spot.
Yeah, DW has the opportunity to finish second place. So, yeah, another bogey is going to put him at 50 under par for the tournament. DW currently sitting at 49 under par, and Packy sitting at 47 under par right here. So, Jack now on the 17th hole, has some favorable wind. Oh, that might find the rough, and it will find the rough. So, a bit of a tester second shot here for Jack, but he still has that tailwind to work with.
We're going to do some hopping here. Be ready.
Definitely.
Be ready.
Yep. Darkwing's now on the 16th hole, and he's got very nasty wind and a very nasty pin position as well. So this could get real tough. Let's see what happens. Looks pretty good, though. He gets that very nice and close. An opportunity for the birdie here, and he's got it. So he's now tied with Jackamus Wedge at the moment at a 50 under par, as now we go to Jack, who's on the 18th hole. So he's got good wind, so he can reach this green in 2. As long as he makes it on the fairway on the tee shot, he can reach this green in 2. He's hooked it a little bit. He'll still find the fairway, I think. Yep, he'll be on the fairway, so he does have the chance at 294 yards away of making this green in 2, but he's going to have to not underhit it. All right, he didn't underhit it, but he did slice it. That's in the drink. That's gone.
Unfortunate.
All right, well, I mean, he can make this for birdie from 70 yards. Otherwise, he'll get a par out of it. So, yeah, this would give Darkwing the opportunity to get second place. So, let's see. Nope, not quite. A little bit left to make that par. Does make the putt. So now all eyes are on Darkwing Duck, who is currently tied, but has a couple of holes left to go. In fact, we now go to the birdie putt here that he just made. So he is now in second place, 12 under par on the round and 51 under par overall. Now we go to the final hole. So par or better, he's going to be your silver medalist. Yeah, with this wind, again, he might be able to reach this in two with a good tee shot, but the second shot, he's going to be into the wind a little bit, so he may play it safe. Okay, will it find the fairway? Nope, he'll have to lay up now. Unfortunate, because if he would have found the fairway, yeah, he definitely would have been able to reach this in two, but he'll have to play it safe from the rough. All right, finds the fairway and has 98 yards left to go here. That wind is just going to keep this one left, and this is going to be a very tricky putt for birdie. So if DW can two putt from here, he will be your second place finisher.
Taking his time to line up the shot right now.
Yep, because it's going to start going to the right, and then it's going to be downhill from there. It's a very, very tricky putt when you've got that double slope. So, yep, he is taking his time to read this putt.
And also definitely a GG. Oh.
Ooh, he blammed that past the hole. It does look like he might have a straight putt for the par, though. Yep, he's got it. So DW finishes the round at 12 under par, a round of 60, and by one stroke will finish in second place in the Best of NES Open Masters tournament. So GG to all of our golfers, but our champion, oh, here's Greniatis, who's trying to finish a very, very good round. You know, he's got 10 under par coming into this hole. Nice backspin to get him close to the hole. Will have an opportunity to finish with a 61 if he can make this putt, which he does. Very nicely done, I'll tell you. Heck of a round there from Gruntiatis. Finishes at 35 under par for the tournament. Well played.
Yeah, and I think that is... I think as we were watching Darkwing Duck, Packy also finished too, so our golfers have finished 4 rounds, and as you said, Brysoff, the champion today.
Yeah, absolutely got off to that blazing start with that hole-in-one on the par 4 first hole as he got the perfect win, got the super shot. I mean, we could do this tournament 100 times, Apollo. You may not see that again.
No, what a consistent just performance from the beginning to the end by our champion here. And like, you know, he had to do that because like you look at the rest of this top 5, you know, minus 35, minus 48, minus 50, minus 51. Like in order to beat these scores, you had to come out hot. You had to be consistent. So big GG to him.
Well, certainly indeed. So Brysoff, our first green jacket winner, or whatever we're going to call the trophy here on Best of NES. Brysoff having 2 aces, including the one on the par 4 that we saw in that final round. Darkwing Duck having the other one, and of course Packy also having that albatross in his run. So great job from all of our golfers. I'll tell you, this was a lot of fun to put on, Apollo.
Yeah, no, I think this was great. This was kind of like, I don't want to say a last minute thing, but like, oh, look how small our names are in the top corner there. It was a fun time. This is like such a good game, and I definitely want to thank you as well. Like you, if I was doing this myself, I would have been like, well, yeah, he hit the ball and went into the green part of the of the course, but you were able to bring just the little bit extra knowledge, a little bit extra passion that allowed us to, hopefully, all of you watching on stream right now and people that were playing, big claps in chat. I want to see some GGs and claps in chat for Laz as well for helping with commentary today.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it was a pleasure to do commentary for this tournament, and I'm glad to have been able to be involved with it. And this was a lot of fun. I hope we get to do this again next year, and maybe we'll see a lot more hole-in-ones next year. This was absolutely fantastic. You know, we got to see all 3 of the aces on air here on Best of NES, and just fantastic stuff that we saw. And, you know, hopefully next year we get to see more competitors.
Yeah,
that would be great.
That would be awesome. You know, we got it. You know, it happened once. It's a real thing. maybe if we just keep it around the same time, everyone knows when the Masters is. We could get some extra people, and we've already had some thoughts about how we could potentially even improve just like the layouts, the pace of play, like how it kind of goes. So like I'm excited for hopefully the future of more NES golf. So
Well, again, congratulations to our winner, Bryce Rolfe, 64 under par, absolute consistency throughout. And, Darkwing Duck also with consistency. You look at those scores 14, 12, 13, 12 under par, also showing consistency. And, Jack and Packy, really good job. And, Gruntiatis definitely hung in there. I mean, you look at the scores that he had in Japan, or not Japan, but UK and the second round of that US definitely showed belonged in this tournament, made the cut, played really, really well down the stretch, and you'll love to see it. And again, next year, I hope we get to see more golfers.
absolutely, and I think we're looking for a raid target right now. I think Brysolf as part of the trophy is helping us pick a raid target. And I do want to say, I don't want to make any promise. I don't want to make any promises, but we've had some chatter in our background staff chat of potentially reaching out to our winner this year. And maybe we need maybe a green jacket's a little too much, but like I think it would be good if we're going to continue to try to do this. I think we need to potentially give some sort of green clothing to our winners, and maybe 10 years from now we can get a picture together.
Oh, that would be fantastic. Well, again, thank you very much for having me here, Apollo. And special thanks to everybody here for taking part in the NES Open Masters tournament and for watching on Best of NES. This is a lot of fun, and I just know we're going to be doing this again next year. This is such a blast. We got to see a lot of great talent on hand.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, thank you everyone for hanging out. I'm gonna get a raid going, so like stick around for a minute or so. We got a Super Smash TV tournament going on. Or like a race going on, so we're gonna go check that out. So go give a good luck and GG's over there. And for that, we are off. Have a good one, all.